There is a quiet difference between people who build a stable life and people who only dream about one. It is not always income, it is not always background, it is not always education, luck, or opportunity. Sometimes the difference is what they repeat every day. A wealthy mind is not only a mind that thinks about money, it is a mind that has learned how to live with direction. It understands patience, it respects discipline, it makes decisions with tomorrow in view. It does not spend every feeling, chase every distraction, or give every hour away to things that do not build the future. A wealthy mind is not loud. It does not need to prove itself to everyone. It does not confuse looking successful with being stable. It does not measure life only by what can be shown to others. A wealthy mind is quiet, steady, and intentional. And if you are trying to rebuild your life, your career, your confidence, or your finances, this is where you must begin. Not with a fantasy, not with pressure, not with shame. You begin by changing what you repeat, because your life is not shaped only by what you want. It is shaped by what you practice. You may want peace, but if you practice worry every day, your mind will remain restless. You may want financial stability, but if you practice careless spending every day, your money will keep escaping. You may want confidence, but if you practice self-doubt every day, your courage will stay weak. You may want a better career, but if you practice delay every day, your opportunities will keep moving past you. This is why daily habits matter. They are small enough to ignore, but powerful enough to shape the direction of your life. Most people do not ruin their lives in one day. They drift through repeated choices. A little avoidance here, a little impulse there, a little delay, a little excuse, a little fear, a little wasted time. Then months pass, years pass, and one day they look around and wonder how they became so far from the person they intended to be. But the good news is that rebuilding works the same way. You do not have to change everything in one day. You begin with a few quiet habits, repeated with honesty. You begin by training your mind to think with more clarity, more discipline, and more respect for the future. The first daily habit of a wealthy mind is morning clarity. How you begin your day matters because the morning often decides the direction of your attention. Many people wake up and immediately give their mind away. They reach for the phone. They check messages. They scroll through other people's lives. They read bad news. They respond to demands before they have even listened to their own thoughts. Before the day has truly started, their mind is already crowded. Crowded with comparison. Crowded with pressure. Crowded with worry. Crowded with other people's urgency, crowded with information that does not help them build anything. Then they wonder why they feel tired before noon. A wealthy mind does not begin the day by surrendering attention. It begins by gathering itself. Morning clarity is the practice of asking, what matters today? Not what is loud, not what is urgent, not what others are doing, what truly matters. Before you step into the noise of the day, sit with yourself for a few minutes. Let the morning be quiet. Let your mind settle. Then, write down the few things that deserve your focus. What is the one action that can move your career forward today? What is the one financial choice that can protect your peace today? What is the one habit that will strengthen your discipline today? What is the one conversation, task, or decision you have been avoiding that you need to face? This habit is simple, but it is not small. A person who begins the day with clarity is less likely to be controlled by distraction. They know what matters before the world tries to tell them what should matter. They do not simply react, they choose. And choice is one of the roots of inner wealth. If you are rebuilding, your mornings must become sacred in a practical way. You do not need a perfect routine. You do not need expensive tools. You do not need to wake up at an impossible hour to prove discipline. You only need a few honest minutes before the noise enters. Take a notebook. Write 3 things. First, write what you are grateful for. This protects your mind from beginning the day in lack. Second, write what must be done. This gives your energy direction. Third, write what kind of person you need to be today. Calm, disciplined, patient, focused, honest, brave. This may sound ordinary, but it changes how you carry yourself. A person who says, today's, I will be disciplined with my spending, will move differently from a person who enters the day without thought. A person who says, today I will focus on one career-building task, will act differently from a person who lets the day pull them in every direction. A person who says, today I will not speak to myself with contempt, begins to rebuild confidence from within. Morning clarity is not about controlling every outcome. Life will still bring interruptions. People will still make demands. Problems will still appear. But when your mind has direction, you are less likely to be destroyed by the unexpected. You may not control the whole day, but you can control the way you enter it. The second daily habit of a wealthy mind is intentional learning. A person who stops learning slowly becomes trapped by what they already know. This is dangerous because the world keeps changing. Careers change, technology changes, money systems change, industries change. Skills that were useful years ago may no longer be enough. Habits that helped you survive one season may not help you grow in the next. A wealthy mind remains teachable. It does not say, I already know enough. It says, what do I need to understand now? This is especially important if you are rebuilding after a setback. A setback can make you feel embarrassed. It can make you want to hide. It can make you feel as if starting again is proof that you failed. But learning is not proof of failure. Learning is proof that you are still alive to possibility. You may need to learn how to manage money better. You may need to learn a new skill for your career. You may need to learn how to communicate with more confidence. You may need to learn how to control your emotions under pressure. You may need to learn how to use your time more wisely. You may need to learn how to build boundaries so your energy is no longer wasted on things that drain you. Whatever the lesson is, do not resist it. Many adults stay stuck because they protect their pride more than their growth. They do not ask questions because they do not want to look inexperienced. They do not seek advice because they do not want to feel small. They do not study money because they feel ashamed of what they do not know. They do not improve their skills because starting from the beginning feels uncomfortable. But discomfort is often the doorway to growth. You cannot become stronger while refusing to be a beginner again. A wealthy mind is not ashamed of learning. It knows that every skill was once unfamiliar. Every strong person was once inexperienced. Every confident speaker once struggled to express themselves. Every wise investor once had to learn the basics. Every disciplined person once had habits they had to correct. The habit is not complicated. Learn something useful every day, not random information, not endless scrolling, not noise dressed as knowledge. Learn something that can improve your decisions, your earning ability, your emotional strength, your financial discipline, or your quality of life. Read for 15 minutes. Listen to a serious lesson while walking. Study one page of a finance book. Watch a tutorial that improves your work. Take notes from someone who has achieved what you are trying to build. Practice a skill instead of only thinking about it. Then, Most importantly, apply what you learn. Knowledge that never becomes action can still leave a person stuck. You do not need to collect lessons like decorations. You need to let them change your behavior. If you learn about budgeting, create a budget. If you learn about focus, protect 1 hour from distraction. If you learn about communication, practice speaking more clearly. If you learn about debt, make a repayment plan. If you learn about career growth, improve your resume or portfolio. Application turns information into wisdom. This is where many people miss it. They consume advice, but their habits remain the same. They listen, agree, feel inspired for a moment, then return to the old pattern. Do not let learning become another form of delay. Learn one useful thing, apply one useful thing, repeat daily. Over time, your mind becomes sharper, your decisions become cleaner, your confidence becomes more grounded because it is supported by competence. And when you become more competent, you begin to stand differently in life. You stop feeling completely at the mercy of circumstances. You stop waiting for someone to give you permission. You stop fearing every change because you have trained yourself to adapt. A wealthy mind learns because it respects the future. The third daily habit of a wealthy mind is evening reflection. Most people end the day by escaping from it. They come home tired, scroll, eat, worry, watch something, distract themselves, and sleep with the same unresolved thoughts they carried all day. Then the next morning begins with the same confusion, the same stress, the same unfinished tasks, the same emotional weight, the same money worries, the same quiet guilt about things they avoided. A wealthy mind does not end the day without learning from it. Evening reflection is the habit of reviewing your day with honesty and calmness, not to punish yourself, not to replay every mistake, not to sink into regret, but to understand what the day taught you. Ask yourself 3 simple questions. What did I do well today? What did I avoid today? What must I adjust tomorrow? These questions can change your life if you answer them honestly. When you ask what you did well, you train your mind to notice progress. This matters because many adults only notice what is missing. They see the debt that remains, not the payment they made. They see the career they have not reached, not the skill they practiced. They see the weight of the whole journey, not the step they took today. You need to notice your progress even when it is small. Small progress gives the mind proof. It says, I am not standing still. It says, I am capable of movement. It says, I can keep promises to myself. When you ask what you avoided, you face the truth without running. Avoidance is one of the quietest enemies of rebuilding. People avoid checking their accounts. They avoid difficult calls. They avoid applications. They avoid exercise. They avoid hard conversations. They avoid planning because planning exposes what they fear. But what you avoid does not disappear. It waits. And often it grows. Evening reflection helps you see the pattern early. Maybe you avoided your budget because you were afraid of the numbers. Maybe you avoided applying for a job because rejection still hurts. Maybe you avoided learning because the lesson made you feel behind. Maybe you avoided rest because you think exhaustion proves responsibility. Once you name the avoidance, you can plan a better response. Then ask what must be adjusted tomorrow. This is where reflection becomes practical. You are not simply thinking about the day. You are preparing the next one. If you overspent today, decide what you will do differently tomorrow. If you wasted time today, decide when your focused work will happen tomorrow. If you spoke harshly to yourself today, decide how you will answer your thoughts tomorrow. If you avoided an important task today, Decide the exact time you will begin it. A wealthy mind does not expect perfection, it expects correction. This is an important difference. Perfection says, if I make a mistake, I have failed. Cricket says, if I make a mistake, I will learn and adjust. Perfection creates shame. Correction creates growth. You will not have perfect days. No serious adult life works that way. There will be pressure, tiredness, interruptions, weakness, emotion, and moments when you fall short of your own standards. But if you reflect and correct, even an imperfect day can become useful. The danger is not making mistakes. The danger is making the same mistake every day without learning from it. Evening reflection breaks that cycle. It gives you a quiet meeting with yourself. It allows you to end the day with awareness instead of escape. It helps you sleep with a clearer mind because tomorrow has been given direction. You can do this in 5 minutes. Write what went well. Write what needs correction. Write one priority for tomorrow. Then close the day. Let it be enough. Do not carry every regret into the night. Learn the lesson and release the weight. When these 3 habits come together, something begins to change inside you. Morning clarity gives your day direction. Intentional learning gives your mind growth. Evening reflection gives your life correction. Direction, growth, correction. These are the quiet foundations of a wealthy mind. Not noise, not display, not trying to look important, not chasing every opportunity without discipline, not pretending to be confident while avoiding the work. A wealthy mind is built through repeated alignment. You align your morning with your priorities. You align your learning with your future. You align your evening with honest reflection. Day by day, this creates a different kind of person. You become less reactive. You become harder to distract. You become more honest with yourself. You become more careful with money. You become more patient with progress. You become more confident because your confidence is no longer based only on emotion. It is based on evidence. Evidence that you can focus. Evidence that you can learn. Evidence that you can correct yourself. Evidence that you can keep going. This is how rebuilding happens. Not through one powerful speech. Not through one perfect plan. Not through waiting until life feels easier. It happens through small disciplines that teach you to trust yourself again. If you feel behind in life, do not use that feeling as a reason to give up. Use it as a reason to become more intentional. If your finances are weak, do not drown in shame. Begin with awareness and discipline. If your career feels stuck, do not waste energy comparing yourself to people on a different path. Learn something useful, build one skill, take one step. If your confidence is low, do not wait for someone to come and restore it for you. Restore it through small promises kept in private. This is inner wealth. It is the strength to direct your own attention. It is the humility to keep learning. It is the honesty to review your life without destroying yourself. It is the patience to build slowly while others chase appearances. It is the discipline to choose what protects your peace, even when old habits call your name. And let us be clear. These habits will not make life perfect. You will still have difficult days. You will still face unexpected bills. You will still feel doubt sometimes. You will still have moments when discipline feels heavy. You will still meet delays, rejection, and uncertainty, but you will no longer be meeting them as the same person. A person with morning clarity does not enter the day completely scattered. A person who learns intentionally does not remain helpless in the face of change. A person who reflects each evening does not keep repeating mistakes without awareness. That is power. Quiet power, but real power. So begin today. Before tomorrow starts, choose your first morning question. What matters most today? During the day, choose one thing to learn that can make you wiser, stronger, or more capable. Before you sleep, ask yourself what the day taught you. Do not make it complicated. Do not wait for the perfect notebook, the perfect schedule, the perfect mood, or the perfect season. Start with what you have: a pen, a quiet minute, a willing mind, a decision to stop drifting. Your future will not be built by accident. It will be built by the habits you return to when nobody is watching. So return to clarity, return to learning, return to reflection, return to discipline, return to self-respect, return to the quiet work that makes a person stronger from within. You may not see the full result tomorrow, but you will feel the first shift: a little less confusion, a little more direction, a little less shame, a little more honesty, a little less fear, a little more control. And over time, these small shifts become a new life. Not a loud life, not a perfect life, not a life built to impress people. A stable life, a disciplined life, a thoughtful life. A life where your mind, your money, your time, and your energy begin to move in the same direction. That is the work of a wealthy mind, and it can begin quietly today.